3D printing has evolved so much over the years that we're now to the point where you can buy a printer, take it out of the box, and start printing with no hassle at all. We're no longer at a time where you need to assemble the machine to get things done. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the top 5 best affordable printers out so far and what you should be looking for when picking up your first or next machine. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Now coming in at number 5, we have Elegoo's Neptune 4 Max. This also applies to the whole Neptune series, so the Neptune 4 Plus, Neptune 4 Pro, the Neptune 4. The only difference that they all have is just the build volume. But for this video, we're going to focus on the Neptune 4 Max just because this is the best printer you can get for this price and this build volume. It comes with a 420 by 420 by 480 build volume. That basically means you can one shot, not any helmet, but most helmets you can one shot on this printer. Most props you can also one shot on this printer. It's actually insane. And for this price range, there's no other printer like it. But the only thing that doesn't make this printer go higher up on the list is the Clipper software. It's basically the firmware that's built inside the printer. Many people has had tons of different problems with that. Also, Neptune has had a couple of recalls, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. I'll fact check that, but I'm pretty sure they had recalls for this printer just because of the firmware issues that it had, and many people were not liking it. So I recommend, if you do have a chance to get this printer, to go back a series to the Neptune 3 because it does not run that Clipper software, and you can get a very good printer. It literally came out and it was a game changer for the printing scene because no other printer has this price range and this build volume. Also, what doesn't make it go up on the list is because it has old features. A lot of new printers have like that Core XY and that new updated features within the printer. This printer has a lot of old stuff, like you will need to use a paper to bed level, which if you don't see that as a big deal, it wouldn't matter, but you will need to coordinate it and dial it in a lot more rather than other printers on this list. So that's why it's not really higher up, because it's really older. It's still very good and it's still competing in today's market, but it's older, if that makes sense. So all in all, I still highly recommend this printer if you're a prop maker that likes to print very big props, or just a dude that likes to print very big things and you need a bigger build volume. I highly recommend this printer. Also, I've heard recently that they did fix the firmware issues with the Clipper software. I'm not 100% sure. I've seen some stuff on Reddit talking about it in some communities, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll fact check that as well. But all in all, this is a very solid printer for the price, and you're not going to get a printer that prints this big in this price range. And it's on sale as well. A lot of 3D print websites run different sales. Always take advantage of the sales, like Labor Day sales, Christmas sales, Halloween sales. Take advantage of those sales because they literally basically give you the printer for half off for most of the time. This printer is $419 right now. To get a printer of this build volume for this price is impossible. Creality has an Ender 5 Max as well that will be an honorable mention at the end of the video. It has an Ender 5 Max for $800 for a slightly bigger build volume, and it's just like, when you can get a Neptune 4 with the almost the same build volume for half the price, it's just a way better deal. So I highly recommend this printer, and that's why it's number 5 on the list. Now coming in at number 4, we have the Solval SBO6 Plus. Now Solval's kind of that brand. When you have Creality, bambulab, Elegoo, Prusa, like all these different brands, it's kind of forgotten and pushed to the side, but we're not gonna forget about Solval. My brother had a Solval printer. That was one of his first printers. May that printer rest in peace. We're not gonna forget about Solval. The reason why it's number 4 on this list is because it comes with a lot of great features that the Elegoo just doesn't have. First things first, it comes with a high build volume, not as big as the Elegoo Neptune 4, but it does come with a 300 by 300 by 350, which is a very high and good build volume. You can print out most helmets in one shot with that. You can print out most 3D prints in one shot. Not as much as the Elegoo as well, like I will keep saying, but it does come with a very high build volume. It also comes with full auto leveling. You get hardened nozzles. You get the same engineering as a Prusa Mark 6, I believe. I'll fact check that as well, but it's the same engineering as a Prusa printer, and you know how good Prusa printers are. So you get all these different features and all these different things from a Solval printer for the price of $320, and it's on sale again. You save $30 if you will buy it. If you have like Cooper Honey, if you have Honey, Cooper, coupons, if you have all that, you can get it for even cheaper. So I highly recommend this Solval printer, and Solval is a very good brand. Even though it's forgotten about, Solval is very reliable, and it will get you through those prints, and it's very cheap and it's unique. Now coming into that number 3 spot, we have my personal favorite. If y'all are not new to this channel, y'all know I love my K1 Max. This is easily the best printer that I ever owned. This is the best printer in this household. I'll argue my brother on that. We have the Creality K1 Max. Starting it off, this comes with a 300 cube build plate. It can do most helmets in one shot, not all, but it can do most helmets, most big props in one shot. For a printer like this, that's insane. Next, we have the quality. I have never seen quality this good. It has that Core XY, so that's mainly why the quality is so good, but I've never seen the quality be this good on this printer. On a 3D printer in general, I've never seen the quality be that good. You have the reliability of the printer. It comes with a unicorn nozzle, it comes with a combined hot end and that Core XY. All those pieces together get you that great reliability, and you really don't need to do anything to switch any parts out or any pieces out. The reliability will just carry you all the way. You have the UI features, the touch screen. It comes with an AI time-lapse camera, comes with AI technology, AI LiDAR, comes with the spaghetti detection, so if your prints are failing, it'll detect it within the first layer if you're not in the room. It is so much stuff with this printer that you get in this little cube that is just insane. Like, it just comes with all the features that you would ever need. Then what you get with that UI feature, you get the software with the touch screen that is very ease of use. It's very beginner friendly as well. So you get all these different features. It does has its drawbacks. Now, for the drawbacks, you get the printer with a smooth PEI sheet and you get it with a glue stick. Why are we using a glue stick in the Big 2.5 going on 2026? Why are we using a glue stick to make prints adhere to the bed? That's unacceptable. Then you have the loudness. This printer is very, very loud. High-speed printing needs high-speed cooling, so the printer is going to be very loud, and those fans are loud. Bass boosted, I'm telling you. Bass boosted fans. Then you have the filament spool in the back of the printer. I don't mind it being in the back of the printer. Most people don't like it being in the back simply because they have it on a desk and you have to reach around to actually get the filament out and to change filament back and forth. So a lot of people don't like that, but I don't really mind it. But those are the 3 drawbacks. If you just see all the pros that I gave you and have those 3 drawbacks, this printer is a steal. And now it's up for $649. This is the price I got the printer for. It's on sale again. Like I said, look out for those Christmas sales, those Labor Day sales, Halloween sales. $649 for this printer. This printer usually runs for $900. You can get it for almost half off. Back then, it was running for $1,000. I got it for $649. This printer is a steal, and that's why it's on the number 3 spot, because it has everything you'll ever need. Now, coming in for that number 2 spot, we got the Elegoo Centuri Carbon. I've heard nothing but great reviews and great things about this printer. Frankly Built also did a video on this printer, and it just looks like it has it all. It looks like it has no drawbacks. The only drawback that I've seen that this printer has is a small 256 cube build volume. But if you don't care about that small build volume, then you have everything you would need for $300. That's what I think separates this from the K1 Max, is that $300 price point, because a Core XY for $300 that's reliable is insane. You get the Core XY, you get the reliability, you get the UI, that the touchscreen UI that is very beginner friendly. You get, I think you get multicolored printing with this. I'm not 100% sure. You get everything you would need. It's basically the same as the K1 Max, but you get all the reliability, all the features, all the functions for $300. And that's why it's on this number 2 spot, because the price point is absolutely wild for what you get. You get high speed printing as well. It prints up to 500 millimeters per second. Now, you don't need the 500, but I'm pretty sure if you dial it back to 200, you'll get great quality. And I've seen on Frankly Built's video as well, you get great quality from this printer. You have everything you would ever need. And if I was a first timer and looking for my first printer, this is honestly the printer I would get for $300 for that price point. Now, coming for that number 1 spot, we got the bambulab P1P and P1S. They're both basically the same thing. The only thing different is you get this little box around it if you buy the P1S with a little bit more money, but they're both basically the same thing, so I'll put them together. This is the best printer to come out in the last 3 years, mainly because people have said the quality of this printer is the best quality that they ever seen in any 3D printer. You get all the features from the last 2 printers that I said on this list. You get the high speed printing, out of box, great UI, great features, you get the camera, you get everything you need. You get AMS multicolored printing compatibility with this printer. If you want to buy the AMS down the line, you get literally everything you would ever need from this printer. My buddy Diego, I'm gonna put him up on the screen with this B-roll of him using this printer. He said it's the best printer that he's ever owned, and he's owned a lot of different 3D printers that's given him headaches. This is the best printer that you can easily get on the market for $400. You get all those features for $400. Now, the only drawback again that I see with this printer is that it's smaller, but if you don't care about that build volume and size, this is the printer to get. Out of box, beginner friendly, auto leveling. You just set it up, you click print, and you go, and you get great quality. Printers nowadays have excelled everybody's expectations with the way that you can just get it out of the box and just immediately start going with the printer without having to do anything and having any hassle. It's insane. And the reliability of this printer, since it's a Core XY direct drive, you basically don't even need to do anything. You could just set up the printer, have it go, leave, and never come back for like 2 years, and it'll still be going. It'll still be going strong. So that's why this printer is in the #1 spot. Now you could argue that the Centauri Carbon or the K1 Max can take the #1 spot or the #2 spot. They're kind of interchangeable. I still would keep the K1 Max the 3rd spot in my opinion. I'll keep the Centauri Carbon in the 2nd spot since we haven't seen a lot of this printer going, but the #1 spot easily goes to the P1P and the P1S, easily by a landslide. Also, I forgot to mention the price of the P1S. It goes up another $149, so I recommend to get the P1P, but the P1S does come with the same amount of features. It's basically the same printer. You get a little bit more features, but not as much. It's basically the exact same thing, so I highly recommend to get the P1P over the P1S, but the P1S is still an amazing printer, and if you like the features of the P1S, I'll recommend that as well. And you know the P1P is good because it's sold out. The printer is sold out. Everybody is jumping on this. So when this printer comes back, I highly recommend you jump on this as well because it is amazing printer. Now we got some honorable mentions. First honorable mention we have is the bambulab A1 Mini. It's basically the same as the P1P and the P1S, but it just doesn't have that casing and it's a little bit smaller. It does support multicolored printing. It does have full calibration. It does have the same UI. It's the exact same printer, just a little bit smaller, and it's just outside. That's the only difference it makes. This printer has gotten a ton of love because of how good this printer is, just because it's the exact same and it's very beginner friendly, more beginner friendly than the other P1P and the P1S on this list. So that's why it's an honorable mention, because I don't want to put it in the list just because it's the same exact thing as the other 2 printers on the #1 spot, and there's really no point. Then moving on, we have the Ender 3 V3 Plus. I have this printer. It's basically another K1 Max that's just outside. It comes with all the features, auto leveling, big build plate, comes with everything you would need, just doesn't have the casing or the inside box cube casing. It's the exact same printer, same exact software, like 1-to-1. Everything's the same as the K1 Max, just doesn't have that little cube that you would usually get with the K1 Max or the K1C. Moving on from that, we have the K1C, exact same thing as the K1 Max, just smaller. It comes with all the literally 1-to-1 with the same exact features as the K1 Max, but you just don't get that big build volume. Exact same thing. And last but not least, we have the Ender 5 Max. Now for this printer, I wanted to include it because it's not the same as the Neptune 4, although it is a very big printer and it comes with all the great features from the K1 Max. It's just outside yet again, and it's very big. It's $849, and not a lot of people is going to spend that much for this printer when there's other better printers on the market, like the one that actually made the list, the Neptune 4 or the Neptune 3 Max. It's just, there's more printers better than it. It's a solid option. It's a good choice, and it has that creality software that's very reliable, but I just don't want to justify spending $849 on a printer that's worse than the Neptune 4 when you can get all the features. It's just like whatever you would rather want, but I wouldn't justify spending $849 on this printer when there's better stuff on the market. That's gonna do it for this video, a longer video explaining the best affordable printers so far in my opinion. If you think a printer should have made this list, drop it in the comments down below. If you disagree with what I'm saying, or if you have different experiences with these printers and you would like to share, drop it down below. I'm gonna read every comment, of course. I love all you guys. Let me know your experiences, if anything I missed, or if you disagree entirely with what I'm saying in this video, just let me know. We can have a discussion about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Without y'all, none of this would be possible, like I keep on saying in every video. You guys keep giving me the motivation to keep going, to keep grinding, to keep making these videos and getting them out as fast as possible. So thank you guys so much for watching these videos and supporting me every single day and every single time you guys can. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, your night, whenever y'all motherfuckers is watching this video. And as always, keep designing, making, and building. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.